All right, Jared, this is the 2022 Ram T-Rex. I kind of wanted to give you a little video walk around of it just to kind of get you an idea how she looks in person. She is not perfectly detailed up yet. My detail crew needs a little bit of training. We've only had the store for a couple of weeks, so please forgive me on that. But you can kind of see some of the really cool features of this truck right out the gate. Of course, it's the T-Rex. You can already notice off the sides, you do have the wide body kits. Of course, your standard front sensors, tow hooks, of course your standard headlights and stuff like that nature. It does have the sport style hood. You got your 3 center lights here, which are required for anything that's as wide as this. That's why your dualies have them too. But that is a functional air scoop that actually goes into the motor. Here, I'll pop the hood open here in a second and show it to you. Off-road style side steps. Of course, this is black over or white over black. The good looking wheels on there. You can kind of see your controls here, your seat controls for your power seats and your lumbar supports. Of course, your standard mirror controls here with your power fold-away mirrors. They are not the trailer tow mirrors, they're just the standard mirrors, which for me, I like personally. I think it looks a little bit better. You'll notice the Harman Kardon sound system and your stored memory. Of course, your headlight controls, your foot pedal controls, so you can adjust your foot pedals, and your electronic parking brake. Standard steering wheel controls, so your basic stuff right there. On the right-hand side, your cruise control, standard cruise control controls, as well as your adaptive cruise control controls. And of course, because it's a T-Rex, you do have paddle shifters on left and right-hand side. Standard basic stuff there, push button start. Of course, it's a red one because it's awesome. When you fire this truck up, this thing has some cool stuff going on. So it has the T-Rex kind of starting systems going on. Close the door so you don't get as much glare coming through. So it's still analog displays left and right instead of digital, but the centerpiece here is, fully digitalized display. It is customizable, so you can adjust the 4 corners as well as what you're looking at. And you do have some pretty cool features that you can go through here. Your basic, driver assist stuff. The fun ones though really are performance things. So, you got 0 to 60 timers, different braking timers, braking distance, things like that nature, your current G-forces, stuff like that. It does have your modes that you can kind of control here. And so when you kind of click through the modes, it's got custom, mud and sand, rock crawl, Baja. Of course, it's going to try to shift me to 4 low when I switch to that one, and then kind of back over. And then of course you can just leave it in auto mode most of the time. That's the normal way that people drive. It does have tow and sport, and Baja, of course. Baja is actually really cool because it adjusts the way that thing brakes, because it's assuming that you're driving in loose sand. So instead of like pulsing the brakes or locking up the brakes, it'll do some weird stuff to basically slow you down a little bit faster in snow and sand and stuff like that nature. Of course, the 12-inch touchscreen. It's a very large touchscreen display that you can kind of see here. The nice part, and I should have brought my cable out here to show it to you, is if you do Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, is you can kind of have the top piece showing your Android Auto, like your Google Maps and stuff like that, and the bottom showing like climate control or radio stations or whatever you want to do. It's pretty customizable as well, and you do have the different apps that you can kind of load up into it, including performance pages, which allows you to change different pieces on your vehicle. You can even have a standard dyno as it's running, tells you how much available power there is. And so you can see when I accelerate or how romp on the accelerator, it's showing how much horsepower is currently available and torque, as well as tracking the RPM gauges down here. Vehicle dynamics just kind of goes into your steering angles. So as I turn the steering wheel, you can see that it shows your steering angles, and it'll also show the status of your transfer case and whether or not your rear lockers are locked up. So some pretty kind of cool stuff there. You got the standard storage bin here. This is where I like to keep my pistols normally. Of course, your standard glove box down here. It is lockable. Basic cup holders. This right here actually serves as a wireless mat, so you can plug your phone, like just drop your phone right in here, and that'll start charging right out the gate. You got a small little spot here that you can store stuff. I use it for like key card access and stuff like that nature. Standard USB and your USB Type-Cs, and an auxiliary cable if you still use something that requires an auxiliary cable. Unlike most of the Rams, this actually has a gear knob style shifter instead of the little turn dial. Of course, that closes over. Everything's carbon fiber inlaid. Your T-Rex badging, which will show you some basic stuff on it. Here, your horsepower, your VIN number, what size supercharger, things like that nature, where it's built. Looks like my detail department didn't do a very good job. Like I said, they're in training. We'll work on that. Let's see if we got any more surprises. More coins. There you go. There's a discount for you. So, anyways, we got to work on that a little bit. Back seats are pretty comfortable. T-Rex badging in here. You do have the panoramic sunroof, which is huge in a half-ton truck. Let me see if I can get my angle back a little bit there. So you got like the partially open. You can do the fully open. Of course, the back piece of glass doesn't open, but the front piece of glass does. So yeah, it's pretty cool on the inside. Let me hop out on the front here. Show you what she looks like underneath the hood. Bear with me a moment. So, yep, again, detail needs a little bit of work. So you can see right here, those two are the air plenums that come in through the hood scoop. They come into the top here. This is just basically a huge air filter box, and then that pumps into the front of the supercharger back there. So you can kind of see the supercharger hanging out in the back there. Pretty cool little setup. Let's see. A couple other kind of key pieces. You do have the kick out bed step, which is probably full of dirt. Yep. So you can kick that out so you can climb in and out of the bed pretty easily. Trailer hookups back here. You got tow hooks on either side that you can use for your chains or whatever. And then you got a 7-pin and a 4-pin wiring harness. Don't know how good my microphone is, but let's try remote starting this and see what happens. So it's got a pretty good low rumbly exhaust. I like the way it sounds from the factory, and when you're driving it you can hear the supercharger whine. Anyways, figured I'd give you that video. You get a little bit more of a in-person depth. I'll send you over some pictures as well. Thank you so much.